Welcome to Real Talk Hilton Head with David and Dale Cross, the real estate lifestyle podcast of Coastal Carolina.
Join us as we share stories from our community, insight into the local lifestyle, and the real scoop on real estate.
From market trends to home design, we dive deep into what it means to live and thrive here.
Discover the state of mind and philosophy of the Low Country that enriches life through personal growth, health and wellness, and human connection.
Whether you're a local or thinking of becoming one, we're here to guide you through the ins and outs of living this coastal escape.
Tune in, relax, and enjoy the conversation with Real Talk Hilton Head,
the podcast of Coastal Carolina.
This episode is brought to you by the David Dale team, powered by eXp Realty in Hilton Head.
Welcome to Real Talk Hilton Head, the real estate and lifestyle podcast of Coastal Carolina. And in today's episode, it's all about the people who keep this community both safe and inspired.
Our guest today is someone who wears two very important hats here in the Low Country. She is the chairman of the board at Mainstage Community Theater, where she helps shape Hilton Head's local art scene and bringing powerful professional quality productions to our coastal stage.
Awesome. But that's not all she does. She also serves as the Community Risk Reduction Officer with the Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue, where she leads programs to help everyone, from new moms installing car seats to seniors learning how to prevent falls and house fires to live safer, healthier lives.
In this episode, we talk about creativity, leadership, and community safety, and what it means to serve in a place you love through the arts and actions.
So whether you're raising a family in Bluffton or Hilton Head or enjoying your best years on the Hilton Head Island, this conversation will give you tools, stories, and a perspective on how to plug into the community and protect what matters.
Let's get into it. Here's our conversation with Cinda Seamon.
Well, welcome to the show, Cinda.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on. We're super excited to chat to you. You're
great.
So not only about what you do, but about the amazing accomplishments. This lady has accomplished a lot on this island in the time that you've been here.
Thank you.
You're definitely an amazing local. So I'm glad that you were able to come on.
Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead and just start telling us about yourself and how you ended up here on Hilton Head?
Well, I was a school teacher in Michigan, and I taught music.
Okay.
And at that time, that's when art and music were being cut to part-time. So I said, well, let me come down here. My parents had a condo. Let's see what's happening. Got a job right away.
Really?
Got a job.
How old were you then? Were you
20s.
Okay, wow.
And I got a job offer in Beaufort, and I said, oh, I don't know, that's kind of far. Let me see what else comes up. Worked for the Island Packet for a little while. Another teaching job came up. I went ahead and took that.
Okay.
So I started by teaching in Beaufort for a little while. Then some other things transitioned and jobs changed and all of that. So, but yeah, it's been probably around 35 years I've been here.
So that was in the mid-90s-ish then, somewhere around
like
there?
90s, yeah.
So what was the island like back then?
Small. And really nice. Everyone knew everyone. There were just a few places to go.
Okay.
You know, not many grocery stores, not many clubs or nightlife. But it was great because we all knew each other. It was small. It was really nice.
Was there a lot of young people then back then? So you had a good group?
My age. It seemed like I felt like everyone was my age then.
Yeah.
I just knew a lot of people. A lot of people that worked at the Island Packet were young. Yeah. So it was great. It was really fun.
That's pretty wild, actually. You know, because I often think now so 278 wasn't there then, right?
Yes, it was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It wasn't quite that.
No, I meant like out to Bluffton. Out Bluffton.
Yeah.
Okay. So it went all the way out to 170?
Yeah.
Oh, that was there then. Okay, I thought. Okay, good. So the other thing is, art and history. Your history with the arts. So have you been always music? Is that primarily?
I was a music major. I did my undergraduate work, my graduate work in music, voice major, piano minor, with education as the focus.
Okay.
So that's why I was a school teacher and I taught music.
Okay.
So that really falls into the arts, especially with musical theater. You know,
Okay.
That's very well tied in. So.
Yeah.
And you're very involved with the theater here on the island, the Main Street Theater.
Mainstage.
Mainstage Community Theater.
I apologize. Yeah.
And that's really what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't we dig in? What is it? How did you get involved? What do you do there? You know, explain that to the folks out there.
So Mainstage Community Theater is true community theater. You know, no one is paid.
Okay.
The board, no one is paid on the board. We do have to pay our creative team, of course, that direct and choreograph and do musical direction. But someone had asked me just years ago if I wanted to be on the board. I was doing a lot of volunteer work. I always have done a lot of volunteer work.
Okay.
That comes from my parents. They were, junior league, hospital boards.
Okay.
It's just in my DNA to do volunteer work. I love to know that I'm maybe making a difference for someone.
Yeah.
I do Rape Crisis, I do Pockets Full of Sunshine, I do Hilton Head Leadership, I do a lot of different things. So,
and that's why I said at the beginning of the show, you deeply woven into this
and
fabric.
we're going to get to all of that.
So
we might need multiple episodes.
No, but that's okay. But anyway, so someone said, and I thought about it, I said, I'm doing a lot, but let me think. And I thought, yeah, that would be really different. And I researched it was Main Street Youth Theater at the time, and I researched it, and they had a good reputation, and we're doing some great things for kids. And I thought, yeah, let me try this. So I got on. It was great. Loved it. Sherry Stronitsky and her husband Gary were the chairman. She was the chairman, and he was the right-hand man, and they were so strong. Did a great job, devoted everything to the theater. And for some reason, I ended up next in line, that vice chair spot.
Yes.
And I thought, eventually they'll leave, but not for a while, until they said, we're leaving, we're retiring. And there I was, and the chairman, I said, oh, I'm so not ready for this. But I had strong board members, and I had people that it was their passion, and they were dedicated, and I knew we'd be okay.
Yeah. So what exactly does the board do then? What is their role?
Well, we do everything, actually, because we're a very hands-on working board.
Okay.
When we decide on it, we have to decide on the shows, we have to pick the directors, we have to pick the creative team, we make up the rules, so to speak, what guidelines are we going to follow as far as doing background checks on any adults that are in shows, and for the safety and protection of the kids and making it a safe environment. What sort of culture do we want to create here? So we decide that. We have to obtain rights for shows. We have to, okay, what are we going to do for concessions? How much do we charge for tickets? All of those little things that you take for granted when you go to a theater, we make the decisions about.
Wow.
If something's not working, then we have to look at it and go, why didn't that work? If there's disciplinary problems in a show, ultimately we may have to make a decision regarding that. We decide who gets scholarships. We have to vote on, when someone applies for a scholarship, things like that. Because we don't ever want anyone to be turned away because of their talent. So we have a very generous scholarship fund that was given to us, and we make sure that kids are always able to be involved with us. So we never want someone to say, I just can't afford the production fee.
Okay.
Or anything like that. So we recognize talent, and we want to nurture that. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, it sounds like a full-time job.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a full-time job.
That's why when anyone comes on our board, I say, it's a working board, and you have to take a job.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to run the background checks, or you're going to run the box office, or you're going to be in charge of this, but find your niche, and everybody's got to do work. You have to do work. That's that bottom line.
Okay, so I'm fascinated because you're talking to somebody who has no idea. Like
Right.
I wasn't raised going to the theater. It was never really part of my life. But
Don't you wish you had?
Actually,
He has. When we had spoken to you initially before the show, I looked at him and I said, I think you found your calling, because he's so animated and
No,
he's
stop
very
it.
it's a good thing. He's very animated and he loves to act and especially be silly with us, and I'm like, that's perfect for you. That's a great place for
that's
you to
different
go.
at home versus in front of a room full of people, right? Who paid to see it.
And funny thing, because just the opposite, someone who's very quiet at home may enter the stage and we see this whole new person.
Right.
Wow.
Because I've had some kids where the mom has come to me and said, oh my gosh, this is just so great. He's so quiet at home. I thought, you're kidding me.
That's not the person
they're
I
so
think.
great on stage, and they're so out there and animated and so fun. So sometimes just the opposite is what we're looking for.
It just unlocks that.
It does. It
Yeah.
unlocks that creativity, and that's what the arts does for kids. It stimulates creativity and builds, it's team building, it's building confidence for sure.
Yeah.
When they get up on a stage and realize what they're capable of.
Yeah.
It makes for a well-rounded kid is going to make for a well-rounded adult. And that's what they should have now an appreciation for the arts and what goes into it. We have so many great art possibilities around here. So they have a greater appreciation of the arts, and it really helps to make a well-rounded adult.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so funny. 'Cause what I find fascinating, because I just love studying human development and what they're finding at a quantum physics level. That they say the imagination of a human literally creates your life. It's sort of like where the screen of your life is whatever starts on the inside. Right. And I just think about arts and imagination, if you can unlock that inside, because that's usually where the struggle is for a person, like having a vision for the future and being able to imagine something better or something different.
Right.
And
I could do this. I could be this.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Or having to put on a character and say, well, what would this character feel like? Or how would they express that? Or what would they do? And I think the more I look into it, the more I think, oh my gosh, like, that's always the first thing that's cut, and it's probably the most important thing to unlock the human potential. Would you say that?
Right. Oh, I think people just don't realize, and it builds discipline and lots of things you don't realize that go into when you're putting a show together, when you're working together to create a production with a bunch of people you probably don't even know, or maybe know.
Yeah.
When we did High School Musical, we represented 5 different high schools.
Oh,
we had kids from 5 different high schools, and we don't take everyone.
Okay.
It's by audition, and you really have to be the best. So you're going to meet super talented people from everywhere. We've had people come from Savannah and Beaufort and homeschool and high schools and middle schools, and we do all ages depending on the show. So it's really an opportunity for kids to develop relationships with people they don't know and have to work with different directors and different creative teams. So they're challenged to do problem solving, conflict resolution, all kinds of things that you wouldn't put together with the arts necessarily.
Yeah. So that's okay, because I probably should have done a little more research. So the main focus is children and getting them involved. Is that what
probably one of our main focuses are youth.
Okay.
But we are a true community theater where we've had some adult shows like I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, The Odd Couple. We're doing Death Trap in the fall. Those are going to be more adults in those.
Okay.
When we did Jekyll and Hyde, we didn't let anyone under 14 audition because the content was pretty heavy.
Okay.
But we did Shrek the Musical. Come on, 6-year-olds if you want, and 81-year-olds if you want, So it really
neat.
just depends. But we started off as a youth focus, but in Shrek we actually had a mother, father, and daughter in the show, which was so cool. I love that. It provides a great dynamic, and adults are very good mentors for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's true community theater.
Are you thinking about making a move to the Lowcountry?
Whether you're searching for the perfect home, or you're exploring vibrant communities on the coast, or dreaming of a new lifestyle, we're here to help.
Contact the David Dale team today and let's make your dream a reality.
So are these like, if somebody's out there right now and say they watch this podcast or listen to this, and they're like, they hear some, are they people who do it all the time?
No,
or is
not
this,
necessarily. We had a lot of new talent in Shrek.
Really?
We have a lot of returning people, but I was surprised. I thought, wow, there's a lot of people in Shrek I don't know, and the talent is just amazing. I'm like, where did they come from? Where did that person come from? It's really surprising. And we love that. And because sometimes every show is everyone's thing. Or, oh, gee, I'm going to soccer camp. I can't do the summer show.
Yeah.
So it's different reasons. It's not that they don't like us or want to be in the show, but it just depends what their schedule is. If it's a show, some people are like, I got to be in Lion King Jr. That is my show. I'm going to be in. I really want to be in it.
Okay.
So everyone's different. And like I said, we have all ages. We've had people in their 80s. We've had 6-year-olds.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you do have to bring your talent, I will say.
Okay, yeah. They've likely done this before then, or at some point in their life.
Some people have a natural talent. We had one guy that just started, in Jekyll and Hyde. We had a very small part, and we thought, look at the potential there. And sure enough, he got the lead in Shrek. He was Shrek.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was all inside him. Don't ask me where it had been hiding, but he just had a natural talent.
So you can see it. Like you have the.
That's one of the things we try to do is see it. We try to see the potential in people. If maybe the audition didn't go that well, but we know the potential's there. I mean, you do have to be good when you bring it, but sometimes we know the nerves can get them or something.
Right.
And we see. I think there's potential there. I think I see something.
Okay.
So we do try to look for that because we want to build our next generation of actors too.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll take a chance. We'll take a chance on someone.
Well, let's talk about that audition process. So where would someone go to see the shows? Do you post anywhere?
We do. Our Facebook page and our website, MainstageCommunityTheater.org.
Okay.
And just watch for the next, it'll say, here are the auditions. We're looking for ages such and such. You'll need to sing 16 bars from the show. You'll need to read this. They might even close attachments where things you can study beforehand. Dance auditions will be that same night at 8 o'clock, plan on staying. And then the choreography will teach a little routine just to see how people do. You see if they've got some ability to learn a dance number.
Wow.
So every show is different, like I said, but we'll give as much information as we can so people don't walk in and go, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they come in knowing what song they're going to sing.
Okay.
They know if they're going to read. They know what parts are available.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And that should help with the nerves because they're already prepared.
Mm-hmm,
So when people come, how many people do you expect an audition? I know it's probably shows specific.
It's different.
but
When we did
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, we had 51 people show up.
Wow. Is that a lot?
Oh my gosh, that was
Okay.
a lot because
Okay.
only about 30 walked away with parts.
Okay.
Now for Shrek, we had more like 35. Well, no, probably more than that, closer, a little over 40. We took about 32 for that show.
Okay.
It really depends on the show. So we just can't take everyone, but Wizard of Oz was pretty huge. We just had a lot of people because there were so many parts. But again, there are parts that we fill. It's not, we don't just throw a bunch of people in. You know, we know what we're looking for ahead of time.
Do they register ahead of time? Okay, they don't just show up. Okay.
Yeah, they
know.
can. We've had walk-ups and there's that I just came and we're like, great, come on in.
Okay.
We want to see what you got, come on in. But we like ahead of time because we get all their information and we can put them in a lineup and they know what they're supposed to do. So, but sure, we've had some walk-ups. We're happy to let anyone come in and audition. The experience of auditioning is really important in itself.
Okay.
It's a great experience for a kid to go through.
In what way?
And can you explain
Elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Well, because you have to go in and all of a sudden mom has to sit out here.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going in by yourself.
Yeah.
And to just and to have that freedom to show what you have. You don't have to worry about parents watching you. We have a private little team. Very nice. Our creative teams are always really nice and understanding with kids. You can start over. Don't be nervous. And it just, when that kid walks out and thinks, I just did that audition myself.
Yeah.
That's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, that
that
confidence.
That confidence.
that
It's
self-esteem.
one of those confidence builders.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I would love to see one of those, actually.
Yeah.
Are they ever open to the public?
No, never.
Never, yeah.
But I've gone in on a couple before, and it is really great.
Yeah.
To
Okay, so
see
you're
what
not there for us. So who's picking them?
The creative team.
Creative
That's our,
team.
choreographer, our music director,
Okay.
our stage manager, our director.
Okay.
Those are the people because they're the ones that can kind of, and then they have a little powwow after and say, do we picture these? And a lot is based on chemistry or looks. When we did Sound of Music, you can't have Gretel, the little one, 8 feet taller than the oldest kid.
Right.
Sometimes it has to be a physical match. Does it go?
Yeah.
How's the chemistry between the captain of Sound of Music and Maria?
Yeah.
You have to see if things go together. So sometimes someone's really good, but it just doesn't work the way we thought. We might not be able to use someone. So a lot of times the people are good, it just the show doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just depends a lot of times on that.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's interesting.
It is interesting.
So I was going to ask you, so then once you have the auditions, how long is it until they know whether they have the parts?
Within about 2 days.
Within
Oh,
about
okay.
We
2
don't
days.
make people wait, no. We
Okay.
pretty much know because what we typically do is audition and the following Monday is the cast. They come
Wow.
for their first read through.
Wow.
So we do, there's just no point. We're going to know.
Yeah.
There's just no point in waiting.
What is their time? So earlier you'd mentioned, are they actually paying to be a part of the production?
Yes, they have a production fee, which is pretty common. Any
Okay.
dance show you're in, any
Yeah.
gymnastics show, because we do have to try to defray some of the costs for the production team. Ours is very reasonable.
Yeah.
It includes 4 comp tickets.
Okay.
It includes a T-shirt.
Okay.
And some costuming, and we may provide some costuming for them.
Okay.
So really, it comes out about even,
Yeah.
or they probably come out a little bit of ahead, but it just helps us defray those costs because we do all the set and the costumes and all of that. We might ask them to buy a pair of black leotards or
Right.
something very basic, or do you have black pants or something like that. But
Yeah.
when we get, Shrek had all the gingerbread man and the wolf and the Humpty Dumpty and all.
Yeah.
Those are more specific.
Yeah.
There were a lot of little specialty costumes.
So do you guys make all those on
We
site?
we order some. Then we have a really good costumer, and she can get creative with some basic pieces.
Yeah.
Amazon is good for a lot of things that match and
Yeah.
go together. If we have Twiddle-dee-dee, Twiddle-dum, we could easily put that together.
Yeah.
We had the rats and the 3 blind mice, and matching costumes, so that works. But she's good at altering and finding things on Amazon or even Goodwill, that kind of thing. We'll
Yeah.
go searching. So it depends again on the show. And sometimes we won't pick a show if the costuming is particularly difficult.
Okay. That's
It could get expensive and.
Are you thinking of selling your home?
With our exclusive Elevate package, we combine over 50 years of experience, cutting-edge data analytics, our unique marketing strategies, and our extensive network to help your home rise above the rest.
While maximizing your sales price and minimizing the time on the market.
So contact the David Dale team today to learn more. I was going to ask you too, so going back to their commitment, so they got the financial commitment. What's their time commitment?
That's what I was going to ask.
About 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
And within that 6 weeks, how often are they practicing?
Probably start with like a Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Kind of a 6 to 8, 5 to 8 kind of time frame. Now, if you're not in the first scene, don't come.
Okay.
Okay. Or you're a lead, you're going to come more often. Okay. Or you're just in the dance ensembles. Dance night is Wednesday, let's say. So you're going to come on Wednesday at the beginning. When we get into Tech Week, that 2 weeks before the show is going to be pretty heavy with everyone. But in the beginning, you may not come every night.
Okay.
Just depends what role you have. And then it will gradually build up, and then we'll start adding a couple weekends, and it gets intense right before we open.
So do you guys do a full run-through right before it opens? Like
Dress rehearsal.
We do a dress rehearsal, which we call preview night, and that's our comp night. It's only parents, friends, and family.
Got you.
Come and see. And honestly, it's as good as any show. They are so ready by then.
Yeah.
We don't even call it a dress rehearsal, although it is.
Yeah.
It's a preview night, and just the parents get to come and their friends. That's where their comp tickets come in. And it's great. And we don't let parents come to any rehearsals, no exceptions.
Okay.
As I said,
That's
when you
good.
come and that curtain opens for the very first time, you won't even believe that what your kid is doing.
What your child
I said, you've heard the singing in the shower and the practicing in front of the mirror in the bedroom. It's nothing when that curtain opens.
Yeah.
And the parents are just amazed. And that's what we want. We want the cast to own the show.
Yeah.
Whether it's adults or kids, it's their show.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell them how to do anything except the director, the music director, the choreographer.
Yeah.
So it's really their show. And when that curtain opens on preview night, it's amazing.
That's right. So I'm trying to get, because this is really fascinating to me, I got to admit. Yeah, I'm just sort of like, this is new to me.
So you're going to be auditioning for our next
Oh, no,
show.
no.
Yes.
Not fascinating in that way. No, I got real estate to do.
Yeah.
Call me for real estate. No, because so I'm trying to get to the motivation. So are people doing this out of passion? Are they doing this as a stepping stone into something they really want to do?
Absolutely both. And
Okay.
we've had, for example, Bryce Cofield directed Shrek.
Okay.
He played Shrek with us years ago when we were Main Street Youth Theater.
Mm.
So, and now he's a successful director and does things with theater in Jacksonville.
Got
He
it.
came for the show. Some of our kids have gone on to do commercials for like Verizon or Walmart.
Oh,
so
really?
Yes.
From here in Hilton Head?
And they are building a career. Others love it.
Okay.
And they go on and they're opening a pizza store.
Yeah.
Something that's completely different,
Yeah.
but they love it.
Yeah.
We've got some of our adults, too. They have full-time jobs, but they love theater, and
Yeah.
they're talented.
That's
So we have a lot of adults, and they're working full-time jobs doing something completely different. It was
Yeah.
never meant to be their career. They all just do it for the fun of it
Yeah.
because they love it. So, yeah, you'll see both, but some are using it for a stepping stone, and I can't think of a better stepping stone.
Oh, absolutely. The experience alone is amazing. So let's talk about show week. What does that generally look like? How long do you run the show?
2 weekends.
2 weekends.
Normally it's 2 weekends, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, so
And that's
8
really
shows.
enough, because I will tell you, the cast is pretty exhausted. Jekyll and Hyde took a lot out of everyone. It was a very powerful show. And one of the things we do with each show is we partner with a nonprofit.
Okay.
We partnered with NAMI,
What's
National Alliance for Mental Illness,
Okay.
because suicide, depression,
Right.
murder,
Yeah.
addiction, all of those topics were addressed in Jekyll and Hyde. And those are real life issues for people, especially now. There's
Yeah.
a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depression, suicide. There's a lot of things. So we partnered. They did a little video at the beginning of the show. They had brochures to hand out to people, so if they needed help.
Yeah.
And then when we did Shrek, of course, that was a whole different thing. That was about acceptance. Because remember, all of the characters were like the land of the misfit toys.
Yeah.
Living in the swamp, and no one liked them, and, and they found out that they were special.
Yeah.
And the whole songs were, we're different. We're special because we're different.
Yeah.
And we partnered with the Children's Center.
Oh, wow.
So what we try to do is for each show is to partner with a nonprofit that might go with the theme of the show.
I got it. That's awesome. That's outstanding.
Your theater, how many seats are in your theater?
Well, we don't have a theater. That's the thing. We don't have a home.
Okay.
We would love
Oh.
one, but we haven't found one. We do shows at Coligny Theater.
Okay.
We do shows at Hilton Head High School, and we do shows at Main Street Theater, which is owned by Hilton Head Prep.
Yeah.
So we kind of bounce around depending what the availability is.
Oh, wow.
I wish we had a theater. I wish we could build one.
Yeah.
That we could always have, but a lot of us are kind of jumping around. Lean Ensemble and some of the other ones, we're kind of switching around because we don't have a place, so we go where we can go.
So where do you guys practice then? Where do you
We usually practice
rehearse?
at the ballroom in Bluffton, Hilton Head Ballroom.
Okay.
It's kind of a couple doors down from Olive Garden.
Yeah.
We have a partnership with them because some of us dance there,
Yeah.
do ballroom dance on the side. And so they're very nice about letting us use that space.
Okay.
And we do we'll start rehearsals there. And then at some point we get into the theater.
I was gonna
We
say,
have to
yeah.
have it so many weeks so we can build our set
Yeah.
and do all of that. But
Yeah.
we'll do our rehearsals at the ballroom usually
Wow.
for a few weeks.
I didn't know you do it at the Hilton Head High School. That's pretty cool.
We do, but you got to have a big show. We did Jekyll and Hyde there. It's a big stage,
Yeah.
so it takes big set,
Yeah.
big backdrops. You can do a big show. The advantage of it is you can do a big show. You would never want to do a small show there.
Okay.
Like Caligny is perfect when we do I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, The
Okay.
Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Some of the Death Trap will be a smaller show, smaller cast because the resources aren't the same. So it works very well. We did Always Patsy Cline there. So it's a smaller venue and it works really well.
That's really
So
cool.
how many shows do you do a year?
3 to 4.
3 to 4 a year. Okay.
We always do a junior show, which is our 18 and under.
Okay.
You must be 18 or under to be in that show.
Okay.
And there, the young kids really own it because they don't. Sometimes, when college, they're up against college kids auditioning. That's a little tough. So this one, they know no one's going to be over 18.
Okay.
So we have the younger, and I'm telling you, they are so good. You would. It's not a kiddie show.
Yeah.
It's nothing to think like, oh, a junior show's a kiddie show. Not at all.
Yeah.
Lion King was amazing. That we did Lion King Junior was amazing.
I love that there's such a great resource here on the island.
Yeah, I mean, because people coming, they tend to think there's nothing here.
I know. I know.
And they, especially when it comes to arts, and if you're coming from the Northeast primarily too, a lot of those folks, love the arts and love being involved. So it's good. Go ahead.
And they're thinking, well, I don't play golf. I don't play tennis.
Yeah.
So I'll go to because people think golf, tennis, restaurants, and they don't realize we have a symphony orchestra, we have a choral society, we have live theater.
Isn't that amazing?
And people like that. People will call us over the summer and say, we're coming down. What's the summer blockbuster? What's the show?
Yeah.
But people do want that. They want other things to do. They want things to do at night, and they want more than just golf and tennis and restaurants.
Yeah.
Or they want it all. They want that, and they want the arts as well. She
Yeah.
would love to go to the theater tonight. What's showing?
Yeah.
Well, which is interesting. So in the summertime, is that generally your biggest
That's usually
production
our big
because of
show.
the tourists that are coming in?
2026, we're probably going to do a big show in March and the summer. It's just
Okay.
kind of working out that way. But typically, we called our summer blockbuster our big show. We've done Sound of Music. We've done, Footloose, The Wedding Singer.
Oh, wow.
Some more bigger names that people know. Yeah, Footloose was a blast.
Yeah.
I want to do it again.
Like who doesn't love Footloose? Like that is the best.
And it was a great storyline.
Yeah,
and
it was.
fun, and it was dance heavy, so it was really fun. High School Musical again was a really fun one. Appeals to all ages.
Yeah.
Do you find a lot of local support?
Oh yeah. We do.
So
Yeah, we do.
the off season, you generally
Well,
sell
what we
out?
do is we seek out sponsors.
Okay.
Okay.
And we've had some great, Surge was our sponsor for Shrek. We've had Charter One Realty be a title sponsor before. So we do look for sponsors because that's another way. I will tell you, in nonprofit theater, they call it nonprofit for a reason.
Right.
I
Because
was
you'll be
gonna-
lucky if you can make it and break even. The costs just exceed what you bring in ticket-wise.
Yeah.
It's just hard. So those sponsors are huge. And yes, we are getting great from the nonprofits that just partner with us.
Yeah.
But the groups that give us financial support as well, or advertise in our program. That's
Yeah.
another thing that's helpful to us.
Yeah.
So people seem to love live theater.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a primary question that we get when people
Sure.
are coming here. It's like, where can I go for the arts?
Well, and
What's
think
available?
about it. I used to sing in the Choral Society. They do great concerts. Symphony Orchestra. They're awesome. I mean, there are really good. There's good arts here.
Yeah.
They're thriving here,
Yeah.
and they always need the support. So,
How would somebody, would they go to the website then?
How would,
if they
how
wanted
would someone be able to support you?
What is the website?
Our mainstagecommunitytheater.org. And there is a thing that says donate.
Okay, that's great.
So if you're out there and you're passionate about the arts, please look up Mainstage. They're doing amazing things here, and even if it's a small donation, anything counts.
Yeah, because you know what I love the most? You may not break even, but I love that the passion is so real. I can feel it.
Like it has to be for all of us. That's why we're board members, because we don't get paid. We do it because we love it, and because we see the difference we can make in kids' lives. Kids that just didn't fit in. So many parents have said, they're not a sports person. They're not the nerd, the tech nerd. They're not. They haven't found their spot, and then they come to us and they found their spot. They found their niche.
Do you do summer camps or any workshops?
We have a summer camp coming up. It's called Around the World in 20 Songs.
Okay.
We did the Broadway Eras tour last year, and I have a 2-week camp. It's called Around the World in 20 Songs.
When is that this year?
That is July. I think it starts Monday, actually.
Okay.
It runs for 2 weeks, and we have a great person that came here. I think at one point they were in LA for a while, but she does acting and writing and coaching and voice lessons, and she's fantastic. She's super creative. She did our camp last year. She works so well with kids. Wow. And she's just got this whole thing mapped out. They do a show, actually, at the end of 2 weeks for the parents.
For the parents.
And to show what they can do in 2 weeks. And they're learning a little bit of everything, some costuming, some everything. And it's amazing what they can do in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I love this.
Yeah.
I really do.
Me too. This is fascinating. So I did have a question for you. So I know you've had a lot of experience with the kids and obviously with the theater. Is there one thing that stands out, one moment that has stood out to you that's kind of changed you a little bit, or an important moment in the last couple years you could share?
I don't think it's one. I think it's every time I hear from a parent or I see something happen with a kid. When a parent says to me, my kid's having so much fun, he got invited to a birthday party. I thought, really? That just made me want to cry. It was like, because he made a connection, and all of a sudden he was part of a group, and he felt wanted, and that changed his life, so that changed mine.
Changed your life.
Yeah.
And I hear things like that, and I hear that from time to time, and that's the kind of thing. So not one defining moment, but several defining moments, I would say.
Yeah. Yes. Well, to me, it's obviously feeds your soul.
Yes.
Because I can see that you're on fire. Like right now, I'm like, I feel it, and it just feels good. Because
again, are you going to audition for a show?
We will keep on him.
We'll see. We'll see. So, what do you have coming up that's around the corner?
Well, we have a camp that starts on Monday, and then we'll do Death Trap at the end of October.
Death Trap, okay.
That's a murder mystery. That'll be a smaller show, not a musical.
Okay.
But it'll be really good.
Yeah.
It'll be really good.
Have you already casted for that?
No, we'll do auditions probably August, maybe.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's that quick.
Well, we'll get, we want to do a couple months out, get every scripts in people's hands, give them a little time to get adjusted, then start the rehearsals.
Yeah.
That won't require as much as a musical. I mean, it could be September but again, if we're starting the end of October, we definitely by September, probably want to have that cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So, and that'll be adults, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with the show, but it should be good.
How do you guys pick the shows? Like, how does that?
It's hard. It's really hard. Sometimes it's better if a director comes to us and says, I want to do this show.
I got you.
Then we're like, okay, you want to do it because you know it, you're comfortable with it, you've done it before probably.
Yes.
So we've decided we're really going to lean towards the directors, but we have to look at things like how much does it cost. When we did Grease, it was really expensive. It was the 40-year anniversary.
Oh,
and
wow.
it cost $10,000 for the logo.
Are you kidding me?
It wasn't even the rights.
Think about that. That's a 40-year-old movie, and they're still getting
I'm not kidding you. We killed that show. It was so good. We really killed it. But a lot of things is how much, because we looked at Sweeney Todd, too expensive. There's just things. Some you can't get, and we'll be like, ooh, we want to do Beauty and the Beast. Well, guess what? Nobody's doing it because they're not allowing it after December 2024 for whatever reason. So or it'll be on national tour or things like that. So, but we look at it. What's the casting look like? Do we think we can do it? What are the sets like? How difficult are they? What's costuming like?
Yeah.
How big of a cast? That's another thing. We want a pretty decent sized cast for ticket sales and for to allow the talent to come on in.
Yeah.
So it's much harder than you think. It's not like, oh, I love that show, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
so
it's so layered.
Yeah.
It really is. So that's why we decided we're really going to go with the director's picks. If they come to us and say, I've got 4 or 5 shows I'd like to do, then we may pick from that.
Okay.
So
are all the directors local then?
It depends. Bryce comes from Jacksonville. We had Travis Hornsby did the Hunchback for us, and he comes from Florida. And then, yes, we've had a lot of local. One of our board members, Josh Wall, directs shows. Melinda Bray, she does music and directs.
Okay.
We've got some of the local theater teachers that are able to direct for us, or our board members. So we do have talent here to direct for sure. We try to spread it around a little bit because it's good for kids. If kids come back for a show, it's nice if they have a different director to work with or a different creative team, because that teaches them, every director's different. You're going to have to go with their rules, with the way they do things.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn, because if you are going to go into this business for real, you're going to be up against you're going to see a lot of different directors and a lot of different creative teams.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to learn to adjust if there's conflict, or because we do have, that's why they call it drama. That's why we have some conflict. We have some conflict. So we have to teach kids. That's one of the things we hope. We've taught some life lessons, and some have been to let you go.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
Yeah.
But you know what? You have to learn that you may have to learn a life lesson the hard way. We all have.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will stick with you, and we've taught you something valuable.
Yeah.
But we really try to resolve the conflict and make it work for everyone. And that's part of another life lesson that we can teach along the way.
And that's so valuable. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with the Main Street.
Mainstage.
Sorry, why do I keep, because it's on Main Street.
Exactly.
That's why
Everyone
I
does now.
apologize. I am so sorry.
No, don't, because we've only been Mainstage for probably about 3 or 4 years now. We used to be Main Street. So for a lot of people, that's how they know us.
Did you used to have that theater then?
No, we were in it. It was owned by someone else, and then Prep got it. We rented it. But we were there all the time because we were sort of the main renters. But now some other theater companies have popped up, and and then Prep owning it. Of course, they have their own productions.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a little bit busier over there.
Okay.
So for people, we have a lot of generous people that listen to us. Needs-wise, obviously funds are very important. If someone wants to give their time, can they volunteer time?
Yes, absolutely. I always need front of the house.
Okay.
The front of the house is ushering, concessions. You come in, you can eat and drink anything you want. You can see the show for free. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and it's easy, and, or somebody might come to me and say, I do makeup or I do hair, and I'd be willing to donate my time for that. Can I do it?
That's great.
So that would be great, especially when we had Grease. The hairs were a little bit specific. Shrek, the makeup was through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it was.
Ears and all that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. But and when we have characters like that, the cat faces and all that, so we could really use help. So someone may have a talent that they can give us that way. Otherwise, they can usher, do concessions, be a greeter at the door. Sure, there's always something. If someone wants to help backstage, if they've done a little backstage work before, they can do. Maybe they want to help the costumer. Hey, I can sew.
Yeah.
And they can help backstage during the, helping hanging up costumes, changing people. Oh, a zipper ripped. I got that. I can iron this for you. I can wash this. Wow. So lots of opportunities for volunteering.
Yeah.
For any age that,
Asher, put it over here. So all of our active adult, 55 plus lifestyle folks who get a hold of us, because we do, and you're always coming down. I know you just want to live that beach bum lifestyle, but you always end up bored and you always end up looking for something more. This is a great opportunity. I encourage you. You may have never thought about it, but reach out to Mainstage and get involved. They need the help, and it's a great way for you to just embed yourself into the low country lifestyle in a deeper way than you ever thought you could. So make sure you do that. I think. Have you ever? What about did you go off island?
No.
No.
Oh no. So, we mean go. Well, there's.
What do you mean for theater? Like
there's a theater we could rent.
Well, like
sure,
I was wondering if like Sun City ever, because they have that beautiful.
I think that one wouldn't work for us.
It wouldn't. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Have you ever seen it?
No, it's probably good, but it's out there a ways.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard for the kids, the school kids and stuff. It's a little bit out of the way, and I'm not sure on the availability and the cost of that. But I think if we stick to kind of more but if there was one in Bluffton that was closer, that was an actual theater.
Yeah.
Like Bluffton Youth Theater is out there, but I'm not sure about. I'm just not sure. We haven't looked into that because we haven't had to.
Yeah.
But there might be a point where we're running out of, or somebody, these things are booked and we need this. So.
Yeah.
But That's why we would love to have our own space.
I hope you guys get
But
it
it's
one
just,
day.
you got to be real careful when you buy real estate when you're a nonprofit. I think it's one of the things we have to be careful about.
Okay.
But because we were in a deal with the church in Bluffton to Live Oak to build a theater, and we were going to go in on it. The deal papers were signed. Then Compassion Church came along and they bought that land. They're the big church that does the Journey in Savannah. They're they're a mega church.
I
they're
didn't know that.
Very nice people.
Okay.
And they said once they build their church, if we ever need
Where are they
space-
building it at?
It's right between Bluffton Library and Bluffton Post Office.
Oh, yeah. I just saw it. It's huge.
We actually had designed...
Right by Butler and College.
Yeah.
We had actually designed a theater for there.
Oh, wow. That would
We
have
had
been
the
a
drawings and
perfect
the
spot.
starts of everything was in place, but then the elders were a little bit unsure, and in comes Compassion Church, and they said, we really aren't interested in building a theater, we want to build a church. But they're really nice. And
Yeah.
he said, if you guys want to do any shows here, it's a little tough when you share with a church because you don't know how people feel about that.
Yeah.
And it's a church.
Yeah.
If it was a theater and they used it as a church, that would be one thing.
Different.
But, you know, you want to give that theater feel.
Yeah.
You have all the fly capabilities, all the capabilities that a theater provides.
Right.
When people walk into a theater, they want a theater.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Do you have any more questions?
No, I love it, and
Yeah.
thank you. You're just, I love it. You just radiate
I love your
the
passion.
passion.
It comes off.
It does.
Well, we're going to switch gears.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
sort of want to
Anyway.
pivot. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to switch. So your day job is with Hilton Head Fire and Rescue.
Yeah, Hilton Head Island Fire Rescue.
Mhm. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what you do with them.
I am the Community Risk Reduction and Outreach. Oh,
This camera's blurry. That one is.
It is.
Yeah, kind of bad.
Can you?
It's like out of focus.
It's the one on Cinda.
Did you go back?
Reset it.
Hold on a second.
I took a drink while we were talking. Because I said,
Oh, that's
Oh,
totally fine.
this
yes.
is a pod. What's great about a podcast
Yeah.
is there's really like no rules. You know, so even like right now, I wanted to keep this live technically, but
Cut that out. So just popped, huh?
How are you feeling? Are you need a restroom
no,
or anything?
it's
Okay, great.
How's that? That's better.
No, you guys are so easy to talk to. It's like I feel like I know you.
Well, that's the point,
And I'm
right?
cracking up about him. Oh, you better get your ass over there and try out for
Exactly.
So,
I'm going to push him.
he should come and just do tech one time or help with the front and get a feed. Because when you're in there, you go, oh, this is the theater life. Do I want it or don't I? Yeah, you'll know. You'll walk in the door.
yeah, this is my theater, and I've got real estate. I got to sell real estate.
Well, I think when
That's
our
my day
children-
job.
Well, you know, Daniel Court, who's Charter One Realty.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's super busy, and Debbie Court, his wife, they're both board members. And
Are
he
they?
Played, he played Jekyll.
Oh no way.
Wow.
That tore him right up. I'll tell you what, that is such a powerful role.
Is it?
And it really gets into your...
Into your soul.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's amazing. He did Frollo when we did Hunchback. He's done lead.
You good,
He's
Asher?
a lead in The Music Man. He's really good. And they love Debbie too. She's a fine actress.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they sell real estate. They do
Do
shows.
they have children?
They do, Liliana. She's a little teenager.
Teenager,
And
okay.
but they've been doing shows since she was little. They did May River Theater
Are we
for
back
a while.
on?
And
Wow.
So yeah, no, you can do it. You can make it work.
All right.
All right, so we're going to jump
So
back.
we're
I'll
gonna
repivot.
cut and back to action. So.
Cinda, tell us a little bit about the Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue.
Okay.
What your role is there.
So my job is, it's the longest title in the fire department.
Okay.
Community Risk Reduction and Outreach Program Coordinator.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
You
that
put
is-
all that on a business card?
It barely fits. It
I was
doesn't
gonna
fit on my
say.
shirt. It doesn't, it's just my name. But what it really breaks down to is community risk reduction.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do, is we're reducing the risk in the community. What are the risks in our community, and how do we reduce those? And then outreach is, we have a captain who does outreach, and he reaches out to different communities and groups and finds out what their needs are. So they're very much overlapping, but they are different too.
Yeah.
So I support community risk reduction and outreach. So that's what I do.
Got it.
And that involves a lot of teaching. So my teaching career is very helpful.
Yes,
Because I teach CPR. I write all the lesson plans for the preschools. That kind of thing we teach at the preschools. Maybe senior groups want to talk to me. I might talk about preventing falls. Or I've been working with the Cypress lately, working on their fire evacuation plan. What do you do when there's a fire? Because we've got mobility issues. We've got all kinds of things going on that they have concerns about.
Right.
Their pets, and then getting out, and what if I just had surgery? And so I've spent time with them, all of their buildings, going over that. So a lot of what I do is teaching. And then
Okay.
we have someone who collects the data and really pays attention to that and says, you know, we're having some microwave fires. We really should probably think about putting a plan together, and then we'll work together to put something together.
Oh,
Because
wow.
We did have one of the retirement homes, and a lady had started a fire a couple weeks in a row.
Oh, what was she doing?
A sweet potato in her microwave.
Oh,
Yeah.
and leaving
And
it
just, you
too
know,
long.
a lot of times, and it's so funny because we always think the obvious on that, and maybe not. What if she hasn't been to the eye doctor in a while and she couldn't see the numbers?
Exactly.
What if, you know, there are just different things that come into play. So we go and talk, I'll go and talk to people and say, tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on, and we can maybe solve this problem. And it was very fixable.
Yeah.
And she was very sharp, and she was, you know, just lovely to talk to, and we got it all straightened out, and we made some little reminders for the refrigerator and that kind of thing. So we just try to meet the needs that are out there and solve the problem and get to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
One of the firefighters was telling me they'd been going to falls at someone's house,
Yes.
or wherever they live, and finally they said to him, where are you falling? Well, I'm picking up the mail and I lost my balance. Problem solved.
Right.
A little grabber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you don't bend over because they can't. Sometimes the blood pressure fluctuates, or they feel a little
Right.
lightheaded or dizzy. So that we try to look at creative ways maybe we can solve the problem, or what's causing the problem.
Okay.
So now we don't have that anymore because he's got a little grab or something's on the ground. He's not as prone to falling because he's not bending over so much.
I didn't even realize that they did that they drilled down into the analytics
Well,
like
we
that.
do. That's what we do. Yeah.
Do all fire departments do that, or is that?
I don't know. I only work for this.
Yeah.
I think so. Let's hope so.
Well,
I
they
think,
should.
I think community risk reduction is getting very widespread in fire departments all over the place. So
Yeah.
people there, we are looking at that. Wait a second. We keep responding. Why are we responding, and what's the real problem? And sometimes there is no digging deep. It's just,
Yeah.
people just don't think a lot of times. They're a little bit oblivious to it. If you haven't had a problem, you don't really think it will be yours. If you
Yeah.
haven't had a fire, you don't think you'll have one. Until you have one or someone does, and then you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was that? They had too many extension cords? What happened?
Right.
And so
Yeah, overloading
we
a
do a lot of
circuit.
home visits when we install free smoke alarms in certain areas. And we can sometimes spot things. We'll say, gee, this isn't a safe situation here. You have a lot of stuff, and although stuff doesn't cause a fire, it's fuel for fire. So, maybe think about let's trim things down, let's clean it up. How can you organize a little bit better? Bad housekeeping is a problem.
So
in a lot
go
of
and
homes.
explain that a little bit to the
Just
to the
hoarding
audience,
and
just
keeping stuff on order.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and people will have like stacks of magazines and newspapers, and I'm like, why are you saving this? Well, I might need to look through them, and I just don't. So I might say, okay, for me, I've done a lot of articles and things in magazines. I take the cover of the magazine, rip out the article, and staple it together, and get rid of the magazine.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
that's a good
pile goes
idea.
from this to this.
Right.
That's a great
Less to
idea.
store.
Fantastic idea.
Well, I just started to get a
number
lot.
one.
Yeah. And just things like that. And, how can do I have paper towels situated too close to the stove? So when I cook, is that going to be an issue? Do not store Tupperware in the microwave or the oven. How many times are you going to preheat the oven and the Tupperware is in there? I mean, we shouldn't ever use it for storage. Yeah. But just realizing what is their situation, tell me why you're saving this, and what can we do to make this a little more safe, and let's clean up this room, or let's talk about why do you have a plant in front of the sliding glass door, because if you have a fire, you're not getting out.
Out of it.
So there's a lot of things that we see when we go in that we can troubleshoot. We're in for one reason, and now we've solved another problem. We sort of look for hazards when we go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
What might be a dangerous situation? We did have one lady who she had just had surgery, and she was very, very slow moving. And she had a space heater because it was kind of cold, and a blanket. And we realized there was an extension cord. Space heaters, you never, ever, ever use an extension cord. It plugs directly into the wall. So we went to get it to
Oh, really?
unplug it.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Always plug it directly into the wall.
Okay.
Never. And always keep it 3 feet from anything combustible, because they
Okay.
can be really dangerous. And we went to unplug it, and do you know that it had melted together? The plugs had melted.
Because
She was
it's
probably
pulling
this
so much
far.
power. Is that what it is? Oh
That's
my
what it is. So
gosh.
you don't put the cord together because it's so
It
powerful.
can't handle the load. And oh my gosh,
That's
thank
a tip number
goodness.
2.
Wow.
That's
Free
something
tip.
we discovered, and thank goodness we probably saved her life. It would just have been a matter of time.
Oh my
and
gosh.
especially because her mobility issues with the surgery, she was very slow getting around, and who knows? I'm not sure what the recovery time is at, but with surgery, that can be anywhere from a week to
Couple
6
weeks.
months.
Right,
whatever,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we try to look for hazards when we're around and talk to people about being safe. There's a lot of things we don't even think of. The only time that I get, and I don't even want to say it's okay, but people do use an extension cord at Christmas time on their Christmas trees.
Yes.
Temporary.
Guilty.
But right, turn it off when you go to bed.
Okay.
No more than 3 strands together. There are some rules to follow that can help you stay safe.
Gotcha.
So, you know.
Can you give us a couple of those rules? I know it's not Christmas, but people will see it at a different time.
Well,
I mean,
first of all, make sure all your appliances are up to date.
Okay.
When you see frayed cords or wall sockets that are kind of cracked and broken, something's going on. But really check your appliances, make sure they're up to date. Don't use extension cords, never. Just plug everything into the wall. When you do buy, say, a space heater, look for the tip over feature. Like when it tips over, it'll automatically turn off.
Got it.
Look for some safety features. Make sure appliances have those UL, independent laboratory testing.
Yeah.
That'll give you some level of standard, at least, that you know it's safe.
Yeah.
So lots of things, clear up the clutter in your house. If you smoke or have a smoker in your house, you really need to consider very good receptacles for putting out cigarettes. They should be smoking outside, but not on wooden decks and throwing them out, things like that. You have a fireplace, make sure that's cleaned. How do you load the wood? What do you use in there? If you use the shiny paper, it can explode. There's so many like everyday things we don't even think about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we think, well, I'm going to dry my hair, and then you just set the dryer down and you go because it's not on.
Yeah.
But I know someone who burned their whole house down because they left it plugged in. The charge is still going through the dryer.
Yeah.
So lots of things like that. We just need to be, there's so many everyday things. And the kids putting these cell phones under their pillows at night, well, it can't aerate or anything. And we're having fires with those.
Really?
Wow.
There was a kid
Asher,
I talked
did
to.
you hear that?
That I was at.
I know, I'm just kidding.
There was a kid I was over at his house, and he had his sitting on a dish towel kind of wrapped up in the kitchen, and it started on fire. Well, luckily he used the dish towel to his advantage, and he smothered it out, and he got it out because he knew the rule of fire: to smother it, to put it out.
Yeah.
It was one of the ways. But again, and with these ion lithium batteries, there's so many now new. We have so many devices in our house that use them. They pack a lot of energy in a small space. We really just got to be cognizant. Overcharging your computer, overcharging anything can start a fire. Wow. I mean, we could give you billions of lists. What we try to do is customize it to when we do a home visit. What do we see that's obvious that we can talk to them about and maybe make it a better situation, a safer situation.
So is there access to a list?
Yeah.
Do you guys provide any?
We do. We have a home safety checklist. It's on the website, the Town of Hilton Head Island website.
Okay.
And it does go through attic, kitchen, just some basic things. And all of a sudden you start thinking about more. Yeah. And we can come over and help you go through that list. You can print it off and just do a little self-check yourself. And see how you're doing. Are you cleaning those dryer vents?
Yeah.
That's mandatory now.
The exhaust fans in your
No, she's talking about the vent from the back of the dryer out.
Oh, no,
yeah, that
lint,
one too.
yeah.
There's two.
Okay.
Then you got the lint. And the exhaust fans in your bathroom.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few exhaust fan fires because they're not meant to be left on. You just use them temporarily and then you turn them off. Yeah. Because all they're doing is really kind of, sucking up dust all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Eventually they're going to start on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So just a lot of things like that. We try to spot those when we go out. But all those things are on the list. So you can print the list and...
Okay.
So the home visits, if somebody wanted you to come in and help them, how would they...
They would go to the Town of Hilton Head website, Town of Hilton Head. I would click on public safety. Okay. And you're going to find this whole fire rescue thing. Okay. And you'll see CPR classes and home safety checklists and phone numbers to call. And, if you have questions.
Is there any cost for that?
No.
No? Okay, so that's all provided for?
All of our CPR classes are free. We do free car seat installs.
Oh,
that was going to be one of my other questions. So, because that's for the younger families.
Right, and we have certified car seat techs. I'm one of them, and we only let the certified car seat techs do the car seat checks. Okay. We have appointments like every other week or so. You can get an appointment, come in. We'll check it for you, or we'll install it for you, whatever we need to do. And there's no charge for that either. You can also go to any fire station and have your blood pressure checked for free.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And they have little cards they'll give you so you can go around and get them done and do a snapshot. Because when your physician asks you to check your blood pressure, they don't usually mean once. They mean sort of over a period of time so they can see what the trend is.
Right.
So that allows you to go to any station with your little card and we'll fill out data and then you can take it back to your physician and say, here's the last 2 weeks, what's been happening.
Yeah.
What are some, going back to the car seats real quick, what are some of the most common errors you see or mistakes people do?
9 out of 10 people install them wrong.
And just period.
Well,
Really?
Yes, it's amazing. That was probably the hardest class I've ever taken. It was a 5-day class.
Yeah.
The first day was just seatbelts. And we had to do 5 installs and 3 written tests. Oh, it's just really, there's so much to it because there's so much to consider.
Okay.
And most people will think they should use everything. Like they think I'll use the seatbelt and the latch. You know, there are the little latches that come up, the lower anchors or the latch. So everyone thinks more is better. They've got every strap in the world, every which way. But it's not crash tested for that. So it's not going to hold up if anything would happen. It's only crash tested the way it's designed to be installed. That's why you really need to read the owner's manual. I mean, we don't so much anymore. Every once we might get a European-made one or something. We might have to dig a little bit deeper, but it's hard to read those. And, weight and we know to read the labels. We know the weight. The other thing is they might have a kid in the seat that's the wrong size or facing the wrong way. Yeah. The state laws now, they must be 2. They must stay rear-facing till they're 2.
Wow.
Okay.
So some might have them turned around too soon. Or they might be too big for the car seat. They've exceeded the weight.
Okay.
Or they have too many things. Like I said, we always say more is not better in the case of a car seat.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Straps aren't tight enough. Or maybe the harness on the child is low. When in fact it should be up high. Some things, or the straps here are too low or too high. So there's a lot of things. That's the thing about car seats. There's so much more involved than you think. So
I'm so glad we're through that all. Now I'm like, oh no, I probably did it wrong.
Except now we have the grandparents coming by because they don't know how to install them. And why would they?
Yeah.
Things have changed. When I grew up, you stood up in the back seat of the station.
Yeah,
exactly.
right?
And no one had seatbelts.
Yeah, it's true.
Your mom's
there was no booster.
Yeah. I mean, things have come so far, and they just do so many crash tests on car seats. They're so much safer now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to them sometimes. So it's not surprising people wouldn't get it right.
And you can't reuse car seats too, right? Because
when you say reuse, first of all, they have an expiration date.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do, because the plastic breaks down, the belts start to break down.
Okay.
If it's ever in a crash, no, you would never use it again.
Okay.
But sure, if you have a kid and then they're out of it and it still has 3 good years on it, you can give it to the next kid. So
I got it.
Reuse that way, yes. But we wouldn't want anyone reselling them, especially because they could be expired.
Yeah.
And we don't know the history. If someone buys it from a yard sale, well, what's the history?
I got it.
Are the labels still good? Can we look at the labels to see if it's been recalled? Because that's the other thing we might want to look and see if there's been a recall.
That's true.
Wow, there's so much to think
is.
about.
I know. It is.
Wow.
Because
Who would have thought car
I know,
seats?
right?
and we always have 2 techs doing one car seat because it's good to have that second set of eyes. You know, these are kids.
Yeah.
This is important stuff.
Yeah, it
Do you
is.
have a lot of people taking you up on helping them?
Mhm,
Okay,
we do,
that's
we
good.
do.
That's great.
Yeah, so we want them to call and make appointments and
Yep.
and be safe, and because usually grandparents know when the grandkids are coming in the airport.
Yes, okay.
So most people, and if you're having a baby, you have 9 months.
Yeah, you better get ready.
You've got some
right?
time.
Not like I think I might have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you have time to figure out which cars you're going to be using and the car seats you're going to be using and all that.
Yeah.
So, we really encourage people to let us know early, and we'll get an appointment and we'll get it done for you.
That's awesome. I didn't realize. What a great resource.
It is. It's great.
It really is.
Do you know Scott Sexton?
I do very well, and he's a car seat tech.
He's our neighbor.
He's a car seat tech.
Yeah.
So mhm.
He lives right across the street from us.
Yes, I've known him for years, and I know his wife also.
Beth.
They're great.
Very
Yeah, they are. They're awesome people.
So I wanted to ask you, going back to more of the active adult seniors in our area, are cooking fires a big? I know you mentioned the sweet potato in the microwave,
right.
but what about cooking fires?
Well, here's the thing. In a lot of these retirement homes, sometimes they're not really allowed to cook, or they might just have a microwave. It sort of depends what level of their independence.
Their care,
not as bad as you would think.
Okay.
We actually have more probably with kids cooking and leaving stuff on the stove, or just the average person not walking away from the stove.
That's
It's kind of
biggest
across
thing.
the board.
You know where
really.
I've done it before is kettle.
You'll put water into boil
And then I'll go and
Sure.
get caught, and then I forget it's there, and I'll come back, and the thing's just like,
And that's why I
that.
tell people, put a wooden spoon in your back pocket.
okay.
And then when you walk in the other room, you're doing something. Why do I have? Oh,
Oh yeah, I got something.
That's a
great idea.
Tip number 3
That's what,
or
yeah.
300
Yeah,
at this
we're
point.
loaded with.
But
So
because
funny.
you got to remind yourself, because it's so easy to get distracted. You
Right.
go and you walk past the dryer, and I got to grab that load of laundry, and
Yes.
before the phone rings, and then, next thing you're doing 20 things.
Yeah.
And you've forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's where we get into trouble, is the unattended cooking.
Yeah.
Probably the most fires we have are going to...
That was going to be my next question. Is that
That's pretty
most
high
fires
up there,
cooking?
unattended cooking.
Wow.
Are there any other like unique safety concerns from the area, from just living on the island, that's different than other places?
I think
okay.
it's pretty standard. I did
Okay.
talk to a fire chief from one of the universities up north when I was at a conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? He said, you'll never believe what the biggest cause of fire is in the dorms. And we said, oh, it's got to be, the hot plates.
Yeah.
Nope. Candles. Got to be candles. No. Got to be smoking.
The
Gotta
bongs.
be smoking. We're doing everything.
I'm just kidding.
We're saying everything. And you know what it was?
What?
Drying clothes in the microwave.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding.
Drying clothes.
In the microwave.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, I don't want to use the bulky dryer. I'm just going to
Okay.
throw them in the microwave. Never mind that metal zipper on the jeans. That's going to cause an explosion, probably.
That is,
So
I'm
it's
sure.
funny.
No drying clothes in the microwave.
That's right. So, but the other thing is candle fires. That's another
Yeah.
one we see more too around the holidays. Those just go up very quickly, and we talk to little kids about that, and they're good about telling their parents. We have a little saying for the kids. We'll say, if your parents say, we're going to run to the store, you've got candles. When you go out, blow out. And we teach the rhymes to the kids. Same thing with when thunder roars, get indoors. We
Yeah.
try to teach them. And kids are great about telling their parents things.
yeah.
It's funny. They'll all the fire people told us.
Well, every time they come to the school, Shiloh always comes home and tells us all
See,
he enjoys
that's
that.
our best
Yeah.
audience to deliver to the parents,
Yeah.
because they remember and they're proud to tell you something that they learned. So we try to give little sayings, but
Yeah.
candle fires can really be bad. And think about it. You have a candle on a table like this, and you have a dog or cat with a tail.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There
it's
you
gone.
go.
Yeah.
So
It's gone.
lots of things that can happen. And again, cooking fires over the holidays.
Yeah.
If you have improper lighting as far as your tree lights go, you haven't checked them, they're cracked, frayed cords, things like that.
Oh yeah. Especially if you got live trees or any
Do you
tree.
replace your Christmas lights every so often?
Well, you just need to check them.
Okay.
When you take them out each year, how do they look?
Yeah.
You can kind of tell by looking, boy, this plastic's kind of wearing down on here. This doesn't, oh, it's
Especially
kind of
as
crappy.
cheap as the materials
Right.
are these days.
I think just keep an eye on them and check them
Yeah.
every time
It
It's
takes
funny because when you put them away, they're one way. When you take them out, they're kind of another.
It's funny how that happens.
I don't know how that is.
Well, one year they work and you take them out.
Oh,
and
that
they
drives me
don't
nuts.
work.
Because
I'm
every
like,
year
that
you're
just
like, I
worked.
gotta go. I just bought these last year.
I know.
And then,
So the biggest thing is just check them every year
Okay.
and make sure, broken bulbs, frayed cords, things like that. That's the best way.
wow.
So the different communities here, do each community handle like education of this differently, or do communities actually teach their? I cannot find the words right now.
That's it. Well, first of all the communities are different. All the neighborhoods are different.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to dig into.
Yeah.
What's happening in this area that's not happening in another, or this is really partial to this neighborhood or this area, and that's what we try to do. Whenever we have a fire, we do something called after the fire. We go to that particular neighborhood. We hit about 25 homes around there and knock on doors and say, did you know your neighbor had a fire? And here's what happened. And then
Okay.
everyone's, wow,
Educate them.
really? And yeah, it's a big deal. Or sometimes we'll call, the POAs will help us, and we'll call everyone to the pool house. And we'll have a big meeting. Hey, fire department will be here. They're going to talk about the fire on Saturday. And then we talk to everybody and let them know how it happened. And do you want us to check your batteries? Do you want us to check your alarms? Because we'll check the date on their alarms for them.
Okay.
So we try to, every neighborhood is different. You're
Yeah.
right. Every neighborhood is different. And so we look at the area and see what's happening in a particular area and try to address that problem.
That's amazing.
That's a wonderful resource that we have.
I'll
that
tell
we
you
didn't
what.
even know.
I know, right? I'm literally like, by the way, you're a wealth of just, I feel a little bit like overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, like there's so much
That's
to
a
think
lot
about.
of information.
It is a lot,
You
though.
got it all in there, though.
I
It just
know.
comes right out.
But there is a lot.
Yeah.
And with again, if it hasn't happened to you, you don't think about it. When I started my career at fire rescue, I was
Yeah.
49.
Oh,
I started
my
late,
gosh.
and I didn't know anything about fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
didn't know-
I mean,
I knew about teaching.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was half the battle.
Yeah.
I could read my audiences, and I learned a lot through teaching, but I didn't really know anything about fire.
Yeah.
Boy, you sure learn quick, and there's so much to learn, but I learned it as I went. And now, like with smoke alarms, people can call me and I can really troubleshoot a lot of things over the phone on smoke alarms. I've had so many instances of smoke alarms, and I install smoke alarms too. We have a program called Fire in the Streets, and we pick different neighborhoods about 4 times a year, and we put hangers on the door and say, we'll see you Saturday, we're going to do free smoke alarms.
Okay.
So we're doing a whole bunch of education about smoke alarms and when to change them and why and all that. So I've learned over the 20 years of my career all of these things. So it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
I had to learn it a little at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you go out and teach it, that really should, that's where
That's what it is, the teaching
Yeah.
and So are there also volunteer opportunities within the fire department?
No, there aren't.
Okay.
We are all career.
Okay.
But now we do a fire prevention pancake breakfast every year that's free on Square Pope Road. Sure, I'll take volunteers all day long to help with the pancake breakfast. That would be great. I have a lot of the town hall staff that helps, and I'm going to bring my brother, my daughter's going to help, or my husband. I'm like, great. So those kinds, but otherwise, no, not in responding.
Okay,
You know, that kind of thing. We're all careers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if there's one thing that a family can do to make themselves safer, what would that be?
Practice your escape plan.
Okay.
Practice, because here's what. Most people die in a fire because someone went back in. Now, if you talk to everyone and say, let's practice our fire escape plan, where are we going to meet?
Got it.
We talk to the little kids, where's your special meeting place? Is it because somebody's in the backyard and everybody's in the front and they're like, where's Bobby?
And then they go back
And then
in.
they go back in looking for him when he's out safe, and then we do have a fatality.
Oh.
And I'm not saying this has happened, I'm just giving you an example of this is what can happen. So the biggest thing is practice your escape plan and have a smoke alarm or find the sound on your phone, beep, 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 and go over the plan and say, we're gonna just pick a random time and see how we do. Do it in the daytime, and then try it at night.
Got it.
And make sure everybody knows where to go. The most important thing is for people to get out.
Yes.
And everybody to look face to face, and we see each other. Let the firefighters know, here we are, the whole family is out, plus the dog.
Yeah.
Because we'll get sometimes conflicting information as callers are calling in about a neighbor's house.
Yeah.
You know, they think someone's still inside, or there's a cat or a dog, you know. And so it's good if we have good information, like the whole family is outside, they're by the tree in the front yard, or they're at the mailbox. It's like, oh, great. Now we've got to figure out the fire, but at least we know everyone's safe.
Wow.
So, because our first priority obviously is life safety.
Yeah.
So, I would say plan and practice a fire escape plan.
Okay.
I love that because when the fireman had come to Shiloh School, he came home and he made us draw a map.
Yes.
Of the fire map, the exit map, and we did that and he was adamant, this is what we're going to do.
Yes. But see, that's so great. That's why I say kids bring home the messages. And that's what we do. Where's the window? Where's your room?
Yeah.
Let's go in your bedroom. Now, how would you get out? You know, go over all of that kind of stuff with the kids. And it really matters because they will remember, and maybe sometimes they won't, because there's been stories of kids that knew what to do and they didn't do it. They got scared, but the more you practice it and do it, it will more like be muscle memory. And there's a more likely chance that they will do the right thing and they will know and they won't get scared and they'll just react.
Yeah.
Because we practiced it so many times.
Right.
And it can be a fun thing to practice.
Yeah.
How quick did you get out? How'd you do?
Yeah.
You didn't stop for any toys, did you? You didn't get that hamster, did you? Because the fireman will get the hamster.
Yeah.
You know, you just, let's go over the rules now. What comes and goes? You know,
Yeah.
forget about the computer. Forget about this. You know, because we always tell kids. I had met a songwriter in Shipyard. And we teamed up because I was a music major, and we wrote a fire safety song.
Oh,
When
no
Fire
way.
Strikes, Get Out, Stay Out. It's on YouTube. We copyrighted it.
Okay.
It was recorded in Nashville. And we teach that every year to the kids, like usually during October, Fire Prevention Month. And one of the verses is, don't stop for favorite things, toys, or even pets. Because we say, we'll get them out. And usually pets are going to be beating you out the door.
Exactly.
They're going to be tearing out of there.
Yeah.
So,
They can.
So yeah, we really talk to kids a lot about getting out in a fire.
Okay.
And if parents can reinforce that at home, or grandparents, when you go visit your grandparents for the holidays, hey guys, here's what we're going to do if we have a fire.
Yeah.
Let's practice it. Let's sometime today you're going to hear this sound, and we've got to go and meet by my mailbox. Because that's new to them. They're not going to know the
Yeah.
words. So, and talk to the parents. How
But
will
you don't
get
think
those
about
kids?
that.
No,
Like, this is
yeah,
stuff I gotta admit. I'm like, God, I don't even think about this
Right.
stuff.
See, because it hasn't happened to you.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't happen to me either, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
We
but
tend to just those kinds
Well,
of
you're right.
things.
Okay.
If it hasn't happened to you, it's a little, you just don't think of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when they go to the grandparents for the holidays and stuff, have the grandparents go over a fire escape plan with them. How will they get out? And chances are the grandparents will go to get them, but they just need to be prepared and where everyone's going to meet, and it's always just good. And if it's part of their repertoire, so to speak, that they just practice and fire escape plans, great. It's just something they do.
Yeah. Wow. Good stuff.
Fabulous.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Only on Real Talk.
Yes, get this info.
So I want to switch gears, though.
Sure.
So I want, huh? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, so I want to get to your life, because the other part of this podcast is about, we love to share why we all love this place. Mm-hmm. So I want to do some rapid fire, like, what is your favorite thing about Hilton Head? What do you love about the area? Where do you love to go? Do you like to go to the beach? Your favorite park? Tell us about your life here.
Okay, so I'm not the beach person. Really.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
See, because you don't have to be.
Exactly.
Because there's other. I like it okay, but
Yeah.
it's just too hot. I'll like it in the spring and the fall, but otherwise, it's just too hot. So you don't have to be a beach person, golf person, or tennis person at all. Of course, my sister's a tennis pro. She loves
Yes.
it. And I heard, you're fabulous, by the way. She said you're a really great player. But you know what I do? I ballroom dance.
Okay.
At the ballroom I was telling you about in Bluffton.
Yeah.
Hilton Head Ballroom Dance Studio. And you should see all ages are out there. What a great way to exercise.
Yeah.
What a great leisurely thing. If you're not a gym person, that's your workout.
Got it.
Okay? There are gyms. There's lots of gyms and workout places. Think of all the boating opportunities if you just like to go on a boat or go on a dolphin cruise or something. But since I do a lot of volunteer work, I work all day. I do ballroom dance at night. I do live theater. If we have a show, I'm really tied up with that. I also do Rape Crisis. It's called Hopeful Horizons.
Okay.
I've been doing that for about 35 years. So I do Pockets Full of Sunshine. They come out to the ballroom and dance. I do Leadership Hilton Head. So a lot of my stuff is volunteer work, but there's a lot to do here. Sometimes people say, well, have you done this? I go, well, I'm kind of busy. I don't have time. But I would. I would.
Yeah.
I really don't have a lot of time to go to the beach, but because it seems like every day there's opportunities. And there's always some kind of activity or festival or something that's going on. Everyone's, are you going to the Wing Fest this week? Or are you going to...
Yeah.
There's
It's always
no
like
shortage
some
of
sort of
things to do.
concert. Like last night, I was
exactly.
driving through in the Hilton Head Plantation. There was this concert going on.
Right.
I'm like, it's
And
just
Shelter Cove has
Yeah.
the summer jams, and
Yes.
the town does does all kinds of activities. And like at the holidays, they do the tree lighting.
Yeah.
And those are just events that come up that if you just start looking at if you look at Culture, HHI,
Yes.
that website, they have all sorts of activities that are going on that are going to appeal to anyone.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you don't do the sports, and if there's going to be some sort of festival or show or concert or activity that you can get involved in, or some kind of gym that you may like. Maybe you like a Planet Fitness kind of thing. Maybe you like more of a boutique gym where you have a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Those are all things to do. They just happen to be maybe fitness related. They're a little bit more specific to you.
Yeah.
But there are so many things. When people say I haven't heard anyone say there's nothing to do here, but every once in a while someone does. I'm like, you're not looking in the right
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're just
not looking at all.
Because I do. And then too, I love to bake, I love to read, so I love if I have downtime.
Yeah.
I like to just, if you have a nice place to live and you just want to be on your back porch, or you want to just spend time at home and I like arts and crafts and things. I like to make stuff, I like to bake, like to read. So I do a lot of different things. I just don't have a lot of downtime is all.
Yeah.
But I think there's...
You inspire me. I feel like I could do more. I was like, David, get on your game, buddy.
But no, there is a lot, and you'll find your niche, but you have to look and you have to know where to look. That's why I'm saying Culture, HHI. There's all sorts of the Chamber. They're going to have things.
Island events.
Island events. That's another great one. That has been here since I've been here.
They're partnering with
They're
us.
actually a partner with us. So
Okay.
once a month they're coming on to Real Talk to talk
It's
about
great
what's
because
happening.
they have been here forever.
Ever.
And that was our
52
go-to
years.
back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
They didn't have really any publications, so
Yeah.
that was our thing of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, again, that's a perfect thing to pick up and say, what is happening next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's always different, especially around the holidays. There'll be different things, like the fireworks or like the tree lighting at Celebration Park and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are great activities. It's not just going in the lighting. They have activities and vendors and food and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So people, they would just be surprised for a small town. And the nice thing is you aren't fighting the kind of crowds like in a big city.
That's true.
It's all here. It's all easily accessible.
Yeah.
Everything is very close.
But I want to get back to you. Where's your favorite go-to for a restaurant?
Well, see, we do happy hour usually every Friday, and we run the gamut.
Okay.
We
Okay.
just,
Give me a few.
Okay, so we like Old Oyster Factory.
Of
That's
course.
good. We do Dockside. We do a lot of the Surge Group ones
Yeah.
because we rotate. We like Boathouse. We'll do, Giuseppe's Pizza.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just go super casual.
Yeah.
Flatbreads is another good place we haven't been in a while. We were saying, oh, we really like that place.
Yeah.
The South End we have to steer clear in the
Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Crazy Crab, they have a great bar menu, like
Yeah.
a happy hour menu
Yeah.
for food and with discounts and things like that. So there's just so many. It just depends what mood.
Yes.
Or if we have a lot of people, we might go to Top Dog because we can get a big table.
Okay.
So sometimes it just
I've
matters.
never
what
been
we-
to Top Dog, have we?
At Shelter Cove.
Okay.
Shelter
Yeah, we
Cove.
haven't been there.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they'll say, look at the great happy hour prices for appetizers or something. We'll go there. Black Marlin is another
Yes,
place
yeah.
we go. So
Yeah.
it's hard to say because they're all different. And they're all depending on it's somebody's birthday or we've done Smokehouse up on the little balcony thing.
Yeah. I love
yeah.
that.
Do you
That's
go-
such a great
Do
spot.
you go in a group of friends?
Yeah, we have a group, and whoever wants to go that day, go.
Okay.
If you can go, great. Just show up. If you can't, you can't. If
Yeah.
I'm in a show run, see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but then I get a lot of those people to help volunteer. So
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
do the happy hour right at the theater.
Yeah.
And we just have a little group Fridays. It's a great way to wind down and just go right from work. No, we never stay out late anymore because that's how we have our get appetizers and catch up and see how everybody's week was. And
Yeah.
that's something. So we kind of just go all over because we want to support all the businesses on the island as well.
Yeah.
Just South End during the season, it's off. But as soon as that season changes, we're going to hit all of those
Yeah.
and get down there and see what's happening.
Yeah.
What we've been missing.
That's
You ever
Great.
go to Local Legend yet?
Yes, I did go there for the first time.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love that. I love the concept.
Well, I was like, oh, and that's what I like. It's so interesting. I'm like, oh, this is really different.
It really is,
You know?
and the
we
food's
cornered it,
good.
yeah.
I mean, I think their
Great.
pizzas are
Oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it was really interesting. Some are playing games over here. We got a
Yeah.
singer over here. We got
Yeah,
something
I know,
over here.
right?
So yeah,
Something around every corner.
Cool hangout.
exactly.
The kids,
So-
I love it because we had her birthday party there, and we had just all of our friends, but all the kids were there, and it was just so fun because the
See?
kids were hanging out, all of us were
and
hanging
everyone
out.
could go together,
Yeah.
which made it
Exactly.
kind of nice. So yeah, it just depends. Like I said, if we want something, hey, we're looking for something a little more quiet tonight. We just want to talk more. We want live entertainment, or we want,
Yeah.
we just switch all around. TOs, we go San Miguel. Sometimes we'll hit the Shelter Cove area for a couple weeks in a
Yeah,
row.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then some of them, we used to go to Carrabba's. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes.
We like that one.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
that's opening. That's changing now. Lucky Beach sold
Yes.
it, and now it's I forget the name.
We just.
I had I forget, but she's got a cool little menu. We were friends
Okay.
with the old owners.
We went to Lucky Beach and
Yeah.
we liked it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't-
I thought it was
we
cool.
don't know what happened there, but and we'll try a lot of the new places like Local Legend. Ooh,
Yeah.
that open. Let's try it.
You know what I love? Because you didn't mention a single national chain. That's what I appreciate about the area, because this is mostly just these local.
Yeah, and you don't need to. And
Yeah.
that's who you want to support.
Yeah, amen.
It's the
Yeah.
local book. So
Wow.
if there, just a couple more, and then we'll
No,
let
I'm
you
good.
go. So is there a tradition here in the low country that brings a smile to your face, or makes you happy? Some kind of tradition. It's a bit of a tough one.
Well, and it's hard to say because I've been with the fire department for 20 years and we have some great traditions.
Okay.
And I
Wanna
have to say, Station
The
3,
Christmas
the
lights.
Christmas lights.
You gotta love it.
Gotta love it. And we
Yeah.
do now a station lighting there, and it's so fun.
It is.
And we have arts and crafts for the kids. I was in charge of the ornaments last year, and we did
Yeah.
hot chocolate, and Santa's there. And
That's one of my
we turn it
favorites.
on, and there's such a buildup. It's probably a 2 to 3 month decorating period.
Wow.
And now we have an admin day because I work at admin. I work at headquarters.
Okay.
And we have an admin day during the workday, and we have to go over. We don't have to, but
But you want-
like everyone's going over. We're
Yeah.
going over,
Yeah.
and we're going to spend the afternoon. We're going to help. Different groups will come
Yeah.
and spend time and help. And I just think I love that. And Santa mail is my probably favorite.
Yeah.
Because I do Santa mail. The kids can leave a letter to Santa in any mailbox at
Yeah.
the fire station, and Santa writes them back.
I
Right.
love
I didn't
it.
realize you wrote back.
Yeah, that's a very busy time.
Oh
for us.
wow.
Yeah. How many letters do you get a year?
225 we got last year.
Wow, that's so
And you
good.
respond to every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Have you had any parents call you and say what the response was when
No,
the child?
I've
okay,
never.
okay.
No, because they don't know who.
Who?
They don't really know who,
Yeah.
where it comes from. I don't
Yeah.
think. They just know. But it's so great when I'll drive by a station and I'll see some kids in front of the mailbox and they're putting a letter in.
Aw.
And I thought I would give $1 million to watch when they check that mail at home.
Yes, that's what
and
I'm
see-
saying.
Because I have it, it's all decorated. And it's got from the North Pole, and I put little stamps on them, so it's all
You should include a ticket to the theater.
That would help our nonprofit.
I know, yeah.
But
Just
no,
kidding.
those are, and that's a lot of them for me are fire department traditions. We just do some really great stuff. And it's just, the Santa mail is great to see what kids are asking for. And some kids are so humble. And they ask for like 2 things, and then one kid will have like 8 pages.
Yeah.
That
would probably be one of our kids.
Not see this go out. And you just have the funny, and every year it varies. It's really funny. When your hamsters were a really big deal.
Yeah.
And then the mom will put,
Hamsters?
they were. And then mom puts a note in there. We're not getting a hamster. So I'm like, gee, we're all out of hamsters. The elves
We're out of hamsters.
But they just ran out. So it's just fun that's just a really, I think, fun way to connect with the kids, to see what's happening in the community. And some stories are sad. They've had a tragedy in their life, and they miss their mom or their dad or something. So it's a real look sometimes into their life beyond what they're asking for Christmas. And I like that.
Well, I just got to go ahead.
So, sorry, interrupt. So I was just going to let's elaborate for people that aren't familiar with the area on Station 3 and why we all, that is a tradition of our families, is the drive-through Station 3. Would you just share a little bit why it's so magical?
Well, it started. We had started having all of the stations decorate, and they were. I was trying to connect some banks and different businesses with each one. Well, 3 kind of outdid everybody one year, and we said, "Oh, forget it. You can just do it every year." We were just like, "You're too good.
It's beautiful. And you could drive through it.
And we just kind of all started putting our efforts towards that. It was just the tour worked kind of, but once 3 kind of upped their game, we were like, oh yeah, that's it. And we also collect for Deep Well.
Okay.
So we have
another charity on the island.
Every single day, I will go there during after Thanksgiving and pick up. And my little fire truck will fill up with all kinds of. It is people are so generous. It's awesome. But anyway, it's just started to grow and grow.
Yeah.
And there were 3 guys that have retired that were initially responsible for really doing with the cutout pieces and making little scenes and the ice skaters and the whole deal. And it just kept going, and they kept wanting to outdo themselves every year, which they did.
Yeah.
And they just came up with, they'd be thinking, next year we've got to do this. It's like anything you do. How can I make it better?
Yeah.
And it just, and people started contributing, and we still, you want to donate some lights? Bring them. We'll take them. Talking about getting your Christmas lights out from last year.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea the bins of
I was going to say, where do they store them?
We have a trailer.
Okay.
We had to get a trailer.
I mean,
all kinds of stuff. And then we had some wreaths, a bunch of wreaths, tons of them. And I got a hold of the Women's Association.
Yeah.
A big group that does a lot of great things. And a couple of the people volunteered to come, and they just really poofed up those wreaths for it, and fixed up the bows and really freshened them up. And we've got wreaths all around, and it's great. It's a great tradition. And we have a counter on it, so we know that how many people go through, and it's like 10,000 or more.
So I was going to ask
you do?
what
Okay.
is the what's the count?
10,000?
Yeah, it's really unbelievable how many. And some people at First Presbyterian, their kids go there. They'll say, we have to go twice. Every day we have to go twice. We have to go through it twice, because you can drive around.
Yeah.
And it's just so great to hear people, and people always, when are the lights going to be ready? And they want to know, and you'll go by and you'll see them decorating. We also have a safety initiative there. As soon as you drive in, there's a big 8-foot wreath, and that is Keep the Wreath Green.
Okay.
Our goal is to keep, it has all green bulbs. Our goal is to keep the wreath green. Every time we have a preventable fire between Thanksgiving and New Year's, a bulb turns red.
Oh, wow.
And then we publish it on our website. You'll see the wreath, and it'll have a red bulb, and it'll say, fire at, Otter Road or something. Tell you the street. It was a candle fire. It was a cooking fire. The preventable fires. Lightning strike wouldn't count, but and then we give fire safety tips for the holidays. Wow. So our goal is to keep that wreath green, and I think last year we might have only had 1 red bulb. Wow. We've kept it pretty low. It's been like 3 or 4 bulbs a year, but the goal is to have it through that period, no preventable fires.
Wow.
So that's a safety initiative, and we keep it on the website so you can go and look at it and see how is the wreath doing.
Yeah.
So we've added a safety element to that as well.
That's really cool.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's really fun.
That's awesome.
Well, this has been amazing.
Well, I just want to say, I feel like if the world just had 10% more of you, we'd have no problems. For real. You are an amazing person, and we just really appreciate you coming on. And you've shared so much, and I really feel like the audience, I think this is one you got to probably listen to or watch 2 or 3 times, because you're just a wealth of information, and it's been so enjoyable having you.
Good. Well, thanks.
So,
man.
yeah.
It was fun. Really
So
fun. Yeah.
we'll put information on how to. So if people wanted to reach out, we'll just put the website information at the end. We'll just put up a contact card for you, if that's okay, especially on the theater side.
Like a
of
bit,
things.
yeah. I don't have a card for the theater. I only have a card for the fire department.
Well, we'll create one, and we'll just put all your contact information if people
or they
get a
can
hold of
just
you.
call the box office number. There's
Yeah.
one of the 3 phones.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
You're like, is the box office open?
Yeah.
I go, it's on my dining room table. It is open.
Yeah.
So you could just put the main number.
Yeah.
It's 689 Main.
Okay.
And you can put that, and then I can give you my work number, because they
Okay.
can call that also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can give you one of my cards for work, and so whatever you want to
No,
put
that's
in.
okay. We'll get your
just
information.
whatever's
We'll put it
easiest
out
for
there,
you.
and but we really appreciate you coming on the
Good.
show.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
you.
me.
Yeah, my pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to Real Talk Hilton Head and leave us a review to help others discover the Low Country lifestyle.